everyone, welcome to Business Today Television. We bring you yet another special on the flight woes. Well, the Tata Singapore Airlines joint venture Vistara had to cancel about close to 50 flights yesterday and 52 flights today. It also decided to reduce its number of flights this week due to an impending crew shortage, leading to a chaotic airport experience for many passengers. Well, in fact, to talk more about this flight issue, joining me is Saurav Majumdar, editor of Business Today. Saurav, thank you so much for joining us. You're also the one who's actually experienced this issue yesterday. Tell me, what is the kind of impact this actually has on the summer travel plans of many Indians?
Yeah, thanks, Karishma. I think it's very evident that there will be an impact if this continues for Vistara. There will be an impact because remember that there are now only a handful of very few airlines which are now in the air and working and functioning, and Vistara is a key player among the 2 or 3 airlines which are left. So I think there is a lot of load on the airlines and the aircraft. And therefore, when people plan out their summer schedules and holidays just ahead of this was definitely not good news. And personally speaking, I had my Vistara flight cancelled last evening when I was heading to Delhi, and I saw the kind of chaos even other Vistara flights were facing, with passengers facing delays and standing in front of the counter and sort of arguing agitatedly, and that's not a good news for the Indian aviation story for sure.
Right. Sort of, this is something that the airline has also been telling us, that they have finally decided to cancel these couple of flights to the crew shortage due to the operational issues existing. But on a broader point of view, we are talking because now this belongs to the big brand that is the Tatas. Tell me, in terms of merger, do you see some kind of challenges for the Tatas in order to have a smooth transition when it comes to integration of Air India and Vistara?
Karishma, this operational reasons is a very omnibus term, right? So the point is, what are these operational reasons? Obviously, crew shortage is a critical part, and I'm sure that was the reason why so many flights had to be cancelled. Talking of the merger, you are aware, that the merger actually was operationalized in January of 2022. Today we are in April of 2024. While it is very clear that the Tata Group has made it clear that it will take time. It was a massive takeover. It was a very landmark takeover, which was good for the economy. But at the same time, operationalizing the merger is not going to be easy, because here was a very, very smart and nimble airline, Vistara, which is now being merged into a legacy airline, which is itself grappling with a lot of these, issues of structural changes and all of that under the new ownership. So obviously it's a very challenging situation. There is no doubt about that. In my view, I think we are nearly 2.5 years into the merger, into the takeover, and the merger will now follow. But the fact of the matter is, probably for a group like Tata could have been planned better, is my view. And I think the challenges and the inconvenience to passengers isn't doing a lot of good for the brand equity of the merged Air India eventually. So I don't think that's a very good story which is playing out in front of us.
Right, Saurav, and you're absolutely right that it's been 2 years when the disinvestment had successfully come across. For last 2 years, the passengers have been wondering, since now it all belongs to the one brand, how will Vistara and Air India come through? Thank you, Saurav, for joining us, and we really hope you have a safe flight back, a successful flight back, keeping in mind the current conditions.
Thank you, Karishma, and that's what I wish for too. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Well, to our viewers, the bigger question that we are talking about here is how it also impacts the airfares. Now, exactly 11 months ago, one afternoon, we received a lot of messages. We'd received a lot of messages from passengers about the sudden flight disruptions. The airline then had also announced its insolvency, prone to the National Company Law Tribunal. Now, I'm referring to Go First. The flight cancellations then caused a major trouble for Indian passengers, leaving them stranded outside and inside airports, disrupting their scheduled plans. In fact, most have yet to also receive their refunds. The defunct airline is still fighting to return to the skies. In 2024, while we are already grappling with a lot of supply chain issues in the Indian aviation industry, Vistara recently faced challenges due to a crew shortage issue. Many pilots working with the airline have submitted that they had to exhaust their sick leaves by March 31st of the last financial year, as leaves were not allowed to be carried forward. According to airline, in fact, 50% of the flights had to be cancelled, and the airline also announced plans to in fact reduce its fleet capacity until normalcy returns and to introduce wide-body aircrafts into its fleet in order to combine. They announced of a Dreamliner, B787-9 and A321neo to accommodate passengers. The major impact of this situation, viewers, is the airfare woes. Industry sources have indicated to Business Today Television that although it's too early to assess the impact, spot airfares have seen a 10 to 15% increase for emergency travelers. The last time when it was Go First who had suspended its flights, the industry witnessed a close to about 50% hike in the airfares, presenting opportunities, of course, for the other airlines to shoot up. All is not well with the industry as we are still grappling with the stability issues. A few months ago, we witnessed a similar scenario with the India's youngest and one of the fastest growing airlines, Akasa Air. The pilot shortage crisis is a pressing issue for India, raising operational questions ahead of the negotiations regarding duty norms and also equal compensation to ensure sustainability. We will continue to track this matter very closely. It's a story of importance to us because it affects us, it affects you, and it shapes the narrative of the Indian aviation, which needs grave attention. Keep watching Business Today Television as we get you more.